What's up, aviation guys? Today I'm going to take the Cirrus SR22 up. I have a friend of mine, Yusuf, who has a YouTube channel called CarStudio. Check him out. It's everything cars. He's a great mechanic. He asked me to kind of just take him up and go over all the buttonology of the Cirrus. That's what we're going to do today. Join us while we go over pre-flight and taxiing and takeoff and what I'm doing at each phase of that. So the first thing we're going to do is go through the cabin checklist, required documents. So we have to have certain documents that are required for flight. That's the aircraft registration, the weight and balance, and the operating handbook. Yeah, we have our requirements. We have our required documents on board. We're going to turn the avionics power switches off, battery master switch on. So I'm turning on the battery master switch. PFD is the primary flight display. Flat position light on. Battery 1 master on, which is right here. Avionics cooling fan, we can hear. The lights, we're going to put on the strobe light and the nav light, so when we start the plane, people know that the battery and power is on to the airplane and it could start at any time. We've checked the fuel quantities. We have 50 gallons of fuel. The fuel selector is on the left fuel tank. Flaps I'm going to put down to 100%. You can see that moving there, and I have a light here that confirms that. I check all the circuit breakers, and they are in. None of them are tripped. There's an emergency hammer access right here to knock out the window if we need it. And then this airplane, Cirrus SR22, has a parachute. In case we lose an engine, we have to be above 500 feet, 45 pounds of pressure. You pull that down, you have to be below 130 knots, I think. The last step in the walk around that I did before starting the engine, the pre-flight inspection is complete. The weight and balance is verified. Emergency equipment's on board. Pilots have been briefed, so you have your seatbelt fastened and secure. The doors are locked and secure. And your seats are locked and adjusted as well. So I'm holding the brakes. The master switch is on, the strobe light's on. I'm going to put the mixture to full rich. This changes the mixture the air-fuel ratio. On an airplane, the higher we go, the less air there is. So we have to adjust that to get the fuel mixture ratio correct. Then we're going to prime the engine. This is the primer. And then we're going to put it on a boost. Power level, 1/4 inch. And then we're going to start the ignition. RPMs to 1,000. Okay, so now we're just kind of waiting for the GPSs to warm up. All the avionics to warm up. We're waiting on the temperature to come up, the oil temperature. Okay, so to go over a little bit about this is the percentage power. We're at 9% power. This is the speed in knots. This is the attitude indicator. That's the electronic version. Here is the old steam gauge version. Airspeed indicator, altimeter. This is an altimeter right here. This is our vertical speed indicator. It tells us how many feet a minute. So the 5 would be 500 feet a minute we're climbing or descending. And this is a directional gyro. We also have our fuel flow right here, our RPMs, manifold pressure, oil temperature, and oil pressure. It'll give us the knots and true airspeed.
200 at 27 at 2015. Visual approach runway 23 in use. Use caution for birds on San Charleston. Low level wind shear alerts are in effect at Jaeger.
Air conditioning.
ILS runway 23 approach out of service. Has this one information for West Virginia and United States for one flight service? Advise you have no.
This is the barometric pressure. It changes the altitude based on the barometric pressure outside. So.
Tango, follow Cirrus. Taxi runway 23. ILS runway 23 approach out of service. Has this one information for West Virginia and United States for one flight service? Advise you.
Okay, so the parking brake is disengaged. I'm checking the brakes. Looking at the attitude gyro, the heading indicator, turn coordinator. I'm going to switch it to the other tank, so switch it to the right tank, that's all it takes. Verifying fuel flow is still there. The pump is still on boost. Flaps are set at 50% and I'm visually verifying them outside.
Runway ahead will be turning southeastbound.
Runway heading cleared to go on 2320 Romeo. You have a preference of what direction you'd like me to stay in the pattern?
Cirrus 20 Romeo, fly runway heading, you expect left closed traffic.
Alright, so that here. Gauges look good, here we go. Full power. Airspeed's alive there. .73 knots. Here we go. Climbing at 90. I'm going to lift the flaps up. We're climbing at 1,000 feet, well, 500 right now, but there's 1,000 feet a minute. A little bit choppy. He wants us to just fly runway heading, so we're just going to continue to fly 230, so the runway that took off on. On 104 knots, 1,608.
Cirrus 20 Romeo traffic, no factor, make left closed traffic, wind 200.